Hey, I just wanted to make a quick video to go over a little bit of the information or to supplement some of that information that goes along with the for sale by owner packet.
Get strong.
This for sale by owner packet is really good, and it's got a great approach where you start off with meeting the people in person, but you can also do this by phone. So just wanted to introduce some things to you and give you a little extra supplemental things. So the first thing we want to do is be in the right mindset when we're working with the for sale by owner. And the key there is that we're trying to build rapport and not create resistance. Okay, so that's the first thing, and I'll talk about that again. Next thing is we're not calling to list the home right away. We're actually calling just for a fact-finding mission, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. The key to winning for sale by owners is in the follow-up, and that's the most important thing you can take away with this. Persistence wins with for sale by owners. The last thing we'll do is I'll hit the most common objections, and I'll hit the most common questions that you need to make sure you get the answer to when you're meeting with them or talking with them. So let's go ahead and get started real quick. The first thing is building rapport. When you're calling, you don't want to create resistance. And what most agents do and most things go out there is they beat their chest and, hey, why don't you list with me? I can do a better job than you. I'm a real estate agent. I have access to the MLS. I have access to buyers. I'm with RE/MAX, the #1 company in the world. You should list with me. I know what I'm doing and you don't. And in my opinion, that's the wrong approach, because a for sale by owner has already said they don't see value in our service, or they don't see the full value in our service, and they think that they can do it on their own. That's why they're willing to try it on their own. So when you go in with that approach, you instantly create resistance and you create a barrier that makes it harder to overcome. So we want to go in there, we want to ask questions, we want to find out how we can help them, we want to build rapport, asking them about them, asking them about their house, and so forth. Get that time for them to see what it's like to work with us, to see what it's like to be able to experience that we have value, and to see our professionalism. And that's going to be the most important step one you can do with a for sale by owner, is build rapport and don't create resistance. So step two will help with that, and I'll explain a little bit about that. And that is, you're not calling to list the home. And that's a real hard concept. It took me a while to really understand that. We're not calling to list the home. We're calling to see if we can add the home to our for sale by owner inventory. So think of this for a second. As a top real estate professional in the industry, you need to know about every home that's on the market, whether it's in the MLS or not in the MLS. You need to know about every home. You need to be an expert in your area. So it doesn't matter if this for sale by owner wants to list with us or not. It doesn't matter if we have a buyer for this for sale by owner or not. What it is we need to know about every home that's in our marketplace, so that's where we're starting. Now, what do we do with the for sale by owner inventory? Well, if we have a buyer and we've shown them everything in our company, or all of our own listings, all of our company listings, and we've looked at everything in the MLS, then we may consider going to our for sale by owner inventory, because we can't find the property they're looking for, and work with the for sale by owner. We don't want the for sale by owner to be our first choice. We don't want to promise them that we're going to bring them buyers, because it's harder to work with them. It's more difficult. We only want to do that if we can't find them a property that's our listing, our company's listing, or listed in the MLS. So this is why we want to have that for sale by owner inventory. So that's the purpose of our call. We want to find out a little bit more about the house. We want to see if there's any way that we can provide value, and we want to create follow-up opportunities so that we're able to be there and be the expert when this seller is ready to list with an agent. And if they're not, we just gave them some great help along the way, and you'll find that they even refer you for that. So there's many opportunities to earn money with for sale by owners. That's the other thing I want you to think of. As you're talking to them, you can earn money by listing their home, okay? You can earn money by bringing a buyer and selling their home. You can earn money by working with the for sale by owner as a buyer. If they're selling their house, where are they going? What are they doing? Can I help them with that? See that there's many different ways to earn money off of a for sale by owner, and we have to have an open mind and be able to figure out how to do that. It also creates a great opportunity for us to refer business to our preferred business partners. For example, we can work with Motto, we can work with Leading Edge, or whoever you want to work with to create this vendor sheet to help them get to closing. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, so the next thing I wanted to bring in there is, or like I said, we're not calling to list the home. So get that in your head. We're just calling to ask questions, build rapport, and to set up a follow-up routine. Next, the key to win for sale by owners is in the follow-up. I can't stress that enough. That is where you win them. Sometimes they'll list right away, but most likely not. Their guard is up. They feel that they don't need a real estate agent. They don't see the value in paying the whole commission, so they need a little time to struggle. So we've created a follow-up process that has some items of value that help the for sale by owner realize they may not know everything that they know or that they think they know, and there may be value in working with you. So the first one that we want to bring up in the first discussion is going to be, do they have a seller's property disclosure? Most of them are going to say no. So that's a great opportunity for you to offer to send them one or to bring one by. We're always better in person. So the quicker you can get an opportunity to meet the person in person, the more likely they're going to connect with you, like you, and the better chance you have of getting their listing. However, that's not really time efficient, so you may want to use email or whatever else, but I just still wanted to point that out. If you ever get the chance to meet them, that's going to up your chances of getting that listing. So, do they have a seller's property disclosure? They may say no, they may say, what's that, or do I need one? That's your opportunity to say, well, the state law requires that you disclose, material facts to the buyers. So I'll be glad to give you a property disclosure to help you out. That's the first indicator that they may say, wow, we almost broke a state law. I didn't realize that we needed this. So that gives you that opportunity to follow up. Some of the other follow-up items that we have are a sign-in sheet. You see, for sale by owners let anybody into their house, but they're not good at following up with them. So this is going to show your sales skill and your sales ability, because what you're going to do is say, I can give you a sign-in sheet. That way, everybody that calls on your property, you can take their name and number. Every person that visits and comes inside your property, get them to sign in, get their name, number, and email. Now, you're doing this for two reasons. One reason the for sale by owner wants to do this is because for security purposes, let's have some kind of track of who's coming in and out of the house. Even if the person is using an alias because they're planning on robbing the house or doing something like that, most likely the police will be able to figure it out or trace where the phone call came from or whatever. So it's a great security option for them to have a sign-in sheet. The other reason, which is a sales reason that shows that you're a sales professional, you have a sales process that's probably better than theirs, is that now there's a way to follow up. When that for sale by owner has an open house, everybody that's called, he can follow up. If they decide to reduce their list price, they can call all of these people and let them know. They're not thinking of how to follow up. They're not thinking of how to sell on here. So you've just re-indicated that, wow, I missed that. I'm not capturing the phone number and email address of each one of these buyers that come by. Now, the third great opportunity that you get as a realtor when they have a sign-in sheet is now if they're sign-in buyers and sellers in, if they're not going to use those buyers, would they be willing to give them to you? And many of them will, yes, they'll give you that sign-in sheet so that you can follow up and try and help these buyers. Or if you list the house, you already have a list of buyers that you can reach out and follow up with. So it's a great opportunity for you to expand your database of active buyers very quickly. So the sign-in sheet, you'll also find we have money of how transaction works, what are the fees involved, title insurance, and so on, and other tips of 100 different ways to sell your house for top dollar. So these are just reasons, little tools, little items of value for you to use as follow-up items so that you're providing something. You're not just taking, you're not just asking, you're not just saying you're better. You're giving them information and letting them self-discover that you have a professional process that's probably better than theirs. Hopefully better than theirs, right? Okay, so the next thing that I want to hit on is the most common objections. And this we'll also talk about in the workbook, but I like to give my opinion and a little extra twist on the things that you need to be prepared for. So the first thing you're going to get is, one of the most common questions is, do you have a buyer? Okay, now this is a question agents mess up all the time because they say yes, maybe they do, maybe they don't have a buyer, but the chances of a buyer buying that house, it's hard to know. You haven't seen the house, you don't know anything about it. Remember, when you look in the MLS, you have 20, 30 pictures, you have bedroom sizes, you have the lot size, you know the bedrooms, the bath, the condition, you know all of this stuff about the property. When it's listed as a for sale by owner, you don't know it. So this is the great point of having a for sale by owner inventory. You're going to ask them those questions. Tell me a little bit about your house. Okay, so before we know if I have a buyer, I don't know. I haven't seen your home. Tell me a little bit more about it. Maybe I can come see it and I can let you know if I have a buyer. And in that process, you're finding out the questions, you're getting room sizes measured, you're getting pictures taken, you're getting lot sizes, you're asking them questions about the HOA, you're getting the seller's property disclosure, and so on and so on and so on. There again, you're showing them all of the things that they may have left out in the process. So that first question, do you have a buyer? Don't worry about yes or no. What I always would say is when they say, do you have a buyer? I say, well, I don't know. I don't know that much about your house yet. But I work with a lot of buyers every single day. So if you could tell me a little bit more about it, we'll go from there. Almost always they begin talking about their house right away. And when they start talking about their house, you get to ask these other questions that help you build rapport, keep the conversation going, and you connect way better than the typical agent calling up saying, I'm better than you, I know more than you, and I can do this. So the next question they'll say is they don't want to work with a realtor. Guess what? That's okay too. I'm not calling to list your house. What I'm doing is an expert in the area. I like to know about every property that's available. So would you mind telling me a little bit about your home? Then when you say that, sometimes they may say, well, you have a buyer. You already know the little follow-up for that. So what our goal is to get them to tell us about their house. And the only thing we're really trying to accomplish is for them to allow us to put it in our for sale by owner inventory so that we know about it, and to check in with them from time to time to see if the property is still available or if there's anything that's changed. So the next question is, or the next objection is often, we don't want to pay a commission. You know what? That's okay. I'm not even asking you to list the house. I'm not asking you for a commission. All I want to do is find out a little bit more about your house. Now, sometimes they may ask you, why would you want to know that? There again, I'm an expert in the area. It's important for me to know about all of the homes. Now, yes, I could share this with buyers, and guess what? A buyer may even pay me a commission to bring them to the house, and it still costs the seller nothing. But I can't even tell my buyers about it unless I know the bedrooms, the bath, the age of the roof, the size of the room sizes, all of these different things. I need to know this information. So another common objection is we already have a realtor if we decide to list our home. A lot of agents just hang up and they're done. I use this as an opportunity to connect. Great. Who's that realtor? I'll reach out to them. Okay. Or a little follow-up there is, that's great. Are you 100% positive that's the only person you're going to list with? And if they say yes, great. Okay, if they say no, say, well, let me tell you a little bit about what I could do possibly. Let me come by and see your house. So it just gives you an opportunity to have that connection. We don't want to interfere with anybody's business, but it also gives you a great opportunity to follow up with the realtor. So what I would do is if I called a for sale by owner and they said, look, I'm already going to list my home with Travis Ford, I would say, okay, great. And so that's the only person. You're not going to interview or consider anyone else to help you sell your home. No, we're going to list with Travis. That's great. Wish you the best of luck. I'd hang up and then I'd dial Travis. Hey, Travis, just wanted to give you a quick call and let you know I was talking to your friend John over on 123 Mallard Avenue, and just wanted to let you know he's a for sale by owner in case you didn't know, but he said when he lists, he's definitely going to list with you. What this did is it built so much goodwill and it built so much connection with me and the other realtor community that it really, really helped, and people were really appreciative of it. So there's a great opportunity there to build connection with your fellow realtors and demonstrate the quality of how you are and your character. The last one that comes up is we have already sold the property. Now, for sale by owners get sold confused really easy. Somebody walks into the house and they say they like it, and the for sale by owner thinks that the person's going to buy it. The thing is the buyer might have liked it. Maybe they didn't like it. They just didn't want to reject the seller's house because the seller's so in love with it. But let's assume the buyer did like it. Okay, and they wanted to actually write an offer. Here's what happens to the buyers. This is why 98% of for sale by owners fail to sell, because the buyer wanted to buy the home and then they leave and they start talking about it. The husband and wife are talking about, wow, I really love that. Let's write an offer. How do we write an offer? Well, we can't use a realtor because they're not going to get paid. Let's call an attorney. So they call an attorney to get an appointment. That's going to be a week or so. Oh, the house is probably already going to be sold by then. The attorney wants them to pay a few $100s in advance before they even know that they have the house under contract. And it just falls apart. They don't have the lender. They don't know who the home inspector is. They don't know how to write the contract. This is why it falls apart. So when a for sale by owner says, I've already sold the property, say, great, has it already closed? Great, congratulations. That's wonderful. You've sold the property. Has it already closed? You'll find out 99% of the time they're going to say no. Then you can follow up. Oh, have you already gotten the offer together? No, we're waiting on the offer. So this is great information for you to know, because when there continues to be stalls, the sellers get frustrated, and often you can step in to help. You could even get paid a flat fee or a percentage, however you want to do it, to help get this buyer to closing. All right. So whenever they say it's sold, most agents hang up. You're going to continue to ask questions, build rapport, and be there. The other thing is transactions fall apart. You as a professional real estate agent have transactions fall apart. Well, the for sale by owner is going to be much higher. There's a much higher chance of it falling apart. So you want to be in the follow-up. You want to be there when they're questioning why the loan approval hasn't came or what happened with the appraiser. You want to be there to offer some advice, not give them everything, but give them little bits of advice, and use that as an opportunity to say, hey, well, let's meet together. Maybe I can help you with this, help you get through this. Okay, so those were the most common objections you need to be ready for. There's only, 4 or 5 of them there that are going to come up, and the answers are pretty similar, so know them and be prepared, and you'll find out it's really, really easy. You take the pressure off. There's no rejection. Almost all for sale by owners are going to say, yes, add it to the inventory. They might not be ready to list, but they'll say, yes, I'll take your disclosure. Yes, you can add it to the inventory. Yes, you can continue to follow up with me to check in from time to time. Boom, that's your win. That's what you're going for. So a couple key questions that when you're talking to them that you need to find out the answer to. Have them, A, tell you a little bit more about the home. That's the first and most important thing, is get them talking about the home, and then you answer questions. When they say they fixed something up, oh, wow, you put a new roof on. That's wonderful. Oh, you updated the kitchens. That's great. Tell me a little bit more about that. Get them talking about that home and everything they like about the home. Okay? Why a buyer would want to buy this home. That's all the first step. The next step is, what are they going to do once they sell this home? Okay, so that's great. Once you sell this home, what are your plans? Are they moving to North Carolina? Okay, and if they are moving to North Carolina, why? See, we want to help determine motivation and time frame. So this is great. They tell me about the house. Now they tell me, well, we're moving to North Carolina because we want to be next to the grandkids. Oh, great. You have grandkids. How many grandkids do you have? Oh, none. This will be our first one. She's going to be born in a few months. Great. Here's the opportunity for you to know their timeline. They're probably going to get highly motivated as they get closer to that deadline. You can find them a referral agent in that area. Maybe you can help them buy a home in that area. You also now know a little bit about their motivation and why they're selling. So that question is always asked, what are your plans once the home sells? Okay. Next, how did you determine the price? This is going to help you uncover, were they already working with a realtor? Did they just go to Zillow? Did they just look online? It's going to help you determine some things there. The next question here is, what would have to happen before you'd consider working with a real estate agent? That's a great question to just ask. So it's great. I'm just curious, what would have to happen before you'd consider working with an agent? They may say nothing. They may say, you'll be surprised, well, in 2 or 3 weeks, if we don't have this sold, we'll probably have to consider working with an agent. Boom. This is the kind of stuff we want to hear. Next thing is, what are you doing to market and expose the home to buyers out there? Next one is, are you getting the activity that you want? That's a pain point that you're going to follow up on. Are you getting the activity, the showings, and the offers that you want? It's typically going to be no. Might be yes in the beginning, but it'll turn to no when the offers don't come. Then you follow up with, do you have that seller's disclosure? I'd like to be able to offer you one to help with that. And then also, could I come by and see the home? Maybe take a few pictures, measure a few rooms, so that when I'm comparing it in my for sale by owner inventory, I'm comparing it to other information similar to what I have available in the multiple listing service. So those are the basics. Those are the most important things. I could go on and on and on, but these are the basics to get started. A, you're calling to build rapport. Okay, that's the most important thing. Build rapport. Don't create resistance. Next, you want to make sure that you know why you're calling. You're not calling to list the home. You're calling to add the home to the for sale by owner inventory, and you're calling to set up a follow-up process to stay in touch with them and show them the value of what it would be like to work with you. Next, you're going to follow up, and you're going to offer items of value each time you follow up, or some kind of good advice. So in those little follow-up questions, it's great to already know their name. So I'm able to call up and say, hey, John, this is Walter. We talked a while back about your property and how you were hoping to get to North Carolina, before March. I just wanted to follow up, see how things are going. When you add those personal things in there, you're going to stand out. They're going to remember that they talked to you, because there's other agents calling, there's buyers calling, there's sellers, there's all these people calling them. But when you start to call them back up and you remember their name, you know what's going on, you have some of these answers, you're going to stand out. They're going to become more comfortable with you much, much quicker. I recommend that most times you're going to need to follow up 4 to 6 times before that for sale by owner is ready to list. 4 to 6 conversations. So you want to do these at least weekly, if not once or twice a week. The last thing there is just the objections. Be prepared, take your time, and get ready for them. So I hope that helped. Please go through the package or attend our for sale by owner class. I'm also glad to get with you one-on-one to help you make some calls, role play, or practice and go through some of the objections. Thanks a lot, and I hope you have a great day.
Be strong.